Okay, so in this video we'll be starting with the introduction for chapter 2. Clear? I hope most of you already know. You can skip this video if you want, but it's for those who have not really understood or who are still confused with what a polynomial is, what a coefficient is, or what a variable is. Okay, clear? So we'll first start with something called a constant term. Okay, first example, we'll go with polynomial. Okay, polynomial is actually an algebraic expression. It is an algebraic expression. Okay, algebraic expression, and it could be expressed in terms of numbers. Okay, it could be a variable. Clear? And it could be a combination of both, or maybe both. Okay, or both combinations. Clear? That means a number and a variable. Okay, so when I say a number, it's understood, right? 7, 6, these are all numbers. But the other thing is, apart from this, 7 and 6 are also called constants. Okay, constant because you cannot really change anything. 7 is 7 in itself, 6 is 6 in itself. You cannot bring any changes to it. So these are called constant. Now, what is variable? Okay, so I think you have come across algebraic expressions. You must have come across algebraic expressions like this: x plus 7, or you must have come across x square or 7xy, something like this. Okay, so this algebraic or this alphabet, let's just say alphabet, okay, is often called a variable. Okay, clear? So this is called a variable. All right. Okay, and okay, so this x square or anything that is expressed in terms of an alphabet is often called a variable. Okay, it actually represents an unknown numerical value in an equation. Okay, so when you look at x, you don't really know the value of x, right? So it becomes an unknown variable. So that, okay, it's an unknown value. So those unknown values are often called variables. Clear? And 7 will be a constant. Okay, and this x will be called a variable because it's an unknown number. Clear? So a constant means 7, a variable means x. In the case of this here, 7xy is not a constant because 7 is multiplied with x and y, and x and y, these are both going to be variable. All right. Okay, same thing for x. This is also a variable. We do not know the value. 7 is not a constant because 7 is accompanied by x and y. So it is 7xy is nothing but a representation of 7x into y. Clear? So when we do not know the value of x and y in itself, then 7 will not remain a constant because the value of x could change, right? If x is 2, then 7 into 2 becomes 14. If x is 2, then 7 into 2 becomes 14, y is left, right? Clear? Similarly, if x is 3, then this equation will become 7 into 3 into y, which is 21y. So the values of this 7xy keeps on changing as we change the value of x, or as we keep on changing the value of y. So this change is not a constant. So 7xy is not a constant. Okay, because it keeps on changing. A constant, when you say a constant, means it will remain as it is. Okay, you cannot change anything. 7, you cannot bring any changes to it, right? 7 will remain 7. X value will keep on changing. Okay, x could be 1, x could be 2, x could be 3, and all of that. But 7 is a constant. It's fixed. It cannot be changed. Clear? So that is what we understand by a variable and a number. Clear? So a polynomial is basically an algebraic expression which is expressed in terms of numbers alone, sometimes with a variable, or sometimes a combination of both. Clear? So next time, whenever you come across any equations like x square or x plus y or x plus 7 or 3x squared plus 6x, anything like this of this sort, it's still going to be a polynomial. Okay, now we'll not really go much into the details of polynomial because this was already a concept of class 9. But what I want you to understand here is, suppose you are given, so let's go with one more thing. We'll go with linear equation. Okay, as the term denotes, a linear equation is one in which the variable has degree 1. Okay, or you can call it, instead of degree you can call it power 1. Okay, you look at the variable. What is the variable in this equation? X. So what is the power of x? It's going to be 1, right? So this type of equations are called linear equations. Okay, so x plus 6 plus y, this is also going to be a linear equation because it is a variable which has degree 1. Okay, second thing is we have something called binomial equation, or not, let's not go with binomial, it's called a quadratic equation. Okay, so by quadratic equation it actually refers to all those equations which has, it's very easy, the variable, okay, has degree 2. Okay, so when we say degree, I actually mean, when I say degree, okay, please remember, when I say degree, I'm only referring it to the variable with the highest power. Okay, clear? So here obviously you can see two variables, x squared and x, but you only have to consider the variable which has the highest power. So in the case of this 2 and the power here is 1, which is greater, it's 2, right? So because, so that means the degree is going to be equal to 2. So this variable is, okay, or this type of equations are called a quadratic equation. In the sense it could be 3x squared plus 6y plus 8 or anything of that sort, but you focused on the variable with the highest degree. Okay, so since this is 2, this type of equations are going to be called a quadratic equation. Alright, okay, next thing we'll go with cubic. Okay, by the term itself it becomes quite easier to understand. Cubic equation is actually an equation which has degree, highest degree should be 3. Okay, the variable must have, okay, the variable with degree 3. Okay, with, okay, clear? So this is what a cubic equation would look like. Okay, it's a variable which has degree 3. Okay, clear? So you, when I say degree, please understand that I talk about a variable. Could be multiple variables, but you'll only have to consider the variable with the highest power. So the highest power is 3. So I'm going to say that the degree of this equation is 3. So that means this is a cubic equation. Now another term you will have to understand is coefficient. Okay, now if suppose you have an equation like this and I asked you what is the coefficient of x squared, any idea what it's going to be? It is going to be 3. Okay, clear? So that's it. The coefficient of x squared is 3. The coefficient of x is 0. Same, in the same manner, okay, suppose you have an equation like this. Remember, and now this is again what kind of equation? It is a quadratic equation because the degree is 2. So what is the equation, or what is the coefficient of y squared? It's going to be 1. The coefficient of y, so coefficient of y squared, it is going to be equal to 1, and the coefficient of y, this is going to be equal to 6. Clear? And 9 is what is it? It is a constant. Okay, because 9 is fixed here. Here 6 into y values can be changed. Okay, so it kind of becomes a variable. It's an unknown value. Okay, we do not know what that value is, and it could keep on changing. Y, there's a possibility of y to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we don't know, right? So hence this is what we understand by coefficient. Okay, now okay, so this is just some introductory these are just basic things that you'll have to know. Okay, what a polynomial is, clear, and what we understand by constant, what is a variable, and what is a coefficient. Okay, it's really important you understand what a coefficient is. Clear? This 2 is called the power, and then, or the degree or anything, and 3 is called the coefficient. Clear? So the coefficient of y square is 1, coefficient of y is 6. Okay, so you just remember this. And in fact in polynomial you can just study in details. In fact polynomial will have it's again further divided. Okay, but this is a concept the lower classes, so you please take the time to watch it yourself or to study it yourself. Okay.